which I know for a fact it's at least a $30 to $40 thing because it's Lego and they charge $9 for this or $10 for this. So I know that's at least a $40 one because, well, it's Legos. And Legos got expensive. And the amount of Legos that me and my brother made my parents buy, no wonder they hated Legos. Other than Legos do teach you certain things, like don't have kids. Make sure your kids pick, well, and if you do have kids, make sure your kids pick up before they go to bed. Because, or when the weekend's over. Because if not, you decide a long, long time ago, when your kid went back to her mom's house after the weekend with you, you decided on Monday that you were going to have a few because you're doing construction work and your body hurts and your back hurts, and you decide you're going to attempt to walk through. Because at the time I had one bedroom, there's a bathroom in the middle, and a bedroom, and my kid's bedroom on the other side. But I had it blocked off so one of the doors you couldn't get through from the kitchen. So you had to go through the bedroom and the bathroom to get to where I was at. And my daughter was probably 3 at the time and left her Legos out. And I decided to go, walk through the house because I was ready for bed. I was done sitting on the couch drinking. I think probably had one too many anyways, which pretty sure I was late the next day for work. But I walked through, and unbeknownst to me, she had Legos, those 3 and older Legos, and I stepped on one because apparently I didn't see it. I tripped, fell into the dresser, fell into the door jamb, and ever since then, I made sure she picked up her toys when she got ready to go back to her mom's house because I was not about to trip over some big ass 3 and over Legos. Pretty sure I threw those Legos out shortly after because I realized she wasn't playing with them; she was just messing with me, which is probably fitting and deserving because I probably had that coming. Glad I turned that thing on to vibrate. If not, it's going to pick up every little thing. Every little. Oh, ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. All my social media accounts are all on my phone. And, well, New Year's. And Betty White just passed away. So, of course, everybody is on their social media doing what they do because it's social media. And we're going to sit here and play with a few things and figure a few things out. Now that we've done some toy stuff, opening some toys, doing all that fun toy stuff, I got different ideas. I mean, I've been talking about some music stuff, post band stories, which I could probably do an entire hour stream with just random band stories or random bands that I've seen coming through the middle of Kansas, local bands, bands in Nebraska, bands in Colorado. I mean, we're talking to some of these bands, make them show off some chump change because I know their 150,000 streams on Spotify is just killing it with dough. I think I could get 50 cents from them for mentioning their name. Yes, I have my Reform and Ruins hat, which is I'd say they're probably pretty heavy metal. They've definitely come a long ways over the course of their career with 3 name changes, a couple members changing, one due to health reasons, one due to having kids, and just not really wanting to do it anymore, which is fully understandable. I mean, you get to a point where you work 50 hours a week and then you got to load up your gear, put it in the vehicle or the trailer, drive to wherever the show is. If it's local, yay. All you have to do is drive across town. If it is not local, then you probably got a 30-minute to, I think the longest we did was like a 3.5, 4 hour car ride to get to one of the gigs. And yeah, then you get there, it's, if you do a show on Friday, you get off, everybody gets off work at 5, by 6:30 you're loading up gear and you got to drive hour and a half to the venue. So now it's like 8 o'clock by the time you've got all your shit loaded up, except for the vocalist who's running around with a backpack because he's got his microphone in it because he's a lazy bastard. And that's why we're vocalists and we're crazy. And then, you got to unload all your gear, you got to set it up, you got to tune it, you got to figure out what lineup you got going on. So now you've been up since 6 in the morning, and it is now 2 o'clock in the next morning. I mean, I don't blame him. There's parts of it I miss. There's parts of it I I really I really do not miss. Like the load up, the travel, the sleeping in the car, or the hotel room, or the floor of your buddy's house, and you get to bed at 4 in the morning after the after party, and you pass out for 2 hours, and at 6 in the morning, the roofers are on their roof across the street, roofing away at 6 in the morning. And by 9 o'clock, everybody else in the band is up because they had like a total of 3 beers or 5 beers or 3 mixed drinks or whatever they put in their body. And I had 4 pitchers of beer by myself. Let's see. I had a slight drinking problem back then. But yeah, do not miss the hangovers. Do not miss waking up on the floors of you having your book bag with all your song books as a pillow. Because you wake up the next morning and you sound like a really, really old man. I'll probably yammer for like another 10 minutes, and I'll start figuring out if I can post music videos and start kind of just listening to some music and, giving people other bands to listen to, or if anybody out there wants me to take a listen to a band and, you know, give my opinion on it. And it's only my opinion. I don't pay attention to music theory. I don't pay attention to what is popular. I was a vocalist in a metal band. We did I wouldn't say, we did aggressive music. I refused to have any clean vocals in it because at the time I was a 24-year-old, really pissed off kid. And I refused to have any clean vocals in it. The previous vocalist wrote some parts in songs for clean vocals and did clean vocals, but my thought on the material and the way that I perceived it, I was not doing clean vocals until years later when we got back together for a Toys for Tots show, which we hadn't talked to each other in probably 3 years. And before the show actually kicked off, I was supposed to have emergency gallbladder surgery. And I put off having the gallbladder surgery because it was a Toys for Tots, so kids could have a Christmas. And I figured that was more important than having my gallbladder removed. Did the show. Probably one of the best shows I personally feel that we ever did as a band. Mainly because I know for a fact I was completely sober. Because I wasn't about to drink and have to have an emergency gallbladder surgery if something would have happened and need to go to the hospital. I figured having a crap ton of alcohol in my system was not a good idea. Not one bit. But yeah, if anybody has bands or band songs or songs that they'd like me to take a listen to, I'd be more than happy to. Keep in mind, these are only my opinions. They are not any. I mean, I'm not a music theorist. I don't pay attention to the popular trends. You know, if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I had some friends one time, they gave me a demo of their CD, and out of the 13 songs, I think it was like 7 of the songs all started off with the same kind of ding, 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 or however it started. They all started off the same, and they said I was the only person that called them on that, which they thought was extremely hilarious that I was the only one that called them on it. And it wasn't out of a disrespect or anything. It was like, hey, you realize 7 of these 13 songs all start the same. You know, you could have cut all that shit out and just had the song start right when it breaks in. I'm like, yeah, we tried to, but there's some band conflicts. And I told all 4 band members, and they thought it was hilarious that I called them on it. Because everybody else said they loved all the stuff, and I mean, they were a good live band. Very good. Breakpoint Method was a good live band. I'm still friends with with their former drummer, but we don't ask him about that band because of bad blood due to them him parting ways with them, which that's for them to discuss and know. And I knew some of it because of who I was in the music scene. I mean, I've been going to live shows since I was 18, like 2002, 2003 was when I really started getting into local music scenes in the middle of Kansas. Uh, I worked at a record store, and I was one of the few. I mean, everybody kind of had their genre that they stuck with, and they knew really well. But we all knew. I mean, working in a record store, you can't just be like, okay, I'm only Lamb of God and Slayer, and nobody else matters. But like, we knew when Lil Wayne dropped a new CD. We knew when Nas dropped one. We knew when Jay-Z had stuff hit. We knew when, Miles Davis's new compilation CD came out. Johnny Cash, it was just with working in a music store, you had to know all these things. But it also gave me a rare opportunity where you could check out some of the CDs where if they had new stuff come in, you could actually go, hey, can I borrow this for a couple days and take it home and listen to it? And you had the opportunity to do that. Sorry about that. But I found tons of different music. And the owner would show me blues bands and jazz and, new order band or new wave bands and different things along that line. So, these are just my opinions on the songs. They're not like, and man, I'm not gonna be, judging Justin Bieber or Lady Gaga or Katy Perry because those are very mainstream. And I mean, Katy Perry's a great artist. Justin Bieber, he's a good teeny bopper, whatever the hell it was. He now looks like he's a homeless man. But his music and music along certain lines like that, I never particularly gone towards. Extreme metal, uh, hard rock, indie rock. Actually, found out I like indie rock, and I like some of the what is it? Yeah, like the newer styles, because I ended up getting invited to a concert one time out in bumfuck Egypt, and every band that played was not in my wheelhouse of concerts I would go to. And then I've seen most of those bands at least two more times after that. So they put on really good shows. The energy was amazing. It was weird because it wasn't my wheelhouse of music I normally listen to. Ugh. Yes, I'm drinking Pepsi. Pepsi is better than beer because beer gets you in trouble. But I'm at home, so not like I really have to. Yeah. As I've got the picture of John Belushi from Animal House chugging the fifth of Jack. Yeah, former alcoholic with a picture. I don't know, former alcoholic. No longer heavy alcoholic. No longer heavy drink. No longer really a drinker. I mean, I had my last drop of alcohol on the 4th of July. I had 2 drinks that day. Wasn't overly impressed with it. Didn't really enjoy it, and just haven't drank since. I talk about it because for some reason I talk about the drinking relating to that time in my life and that time period, because I mean, I was in a band, I was working at a record store, I was a construction worker, I think one year I probably hit, we had, you figure there's 52 weeks in a year, and you have one show a weekend, so a minimum of one show a weekend, so that's 50 shows right there, or 52 shows right there. And then you get one during the week, so now you're at 100 and some shows, and I literally was at, and I was at the concerts I was involved in at the time. I was at the concerts I wasn't involved in. I was, let's see, I went to all the metal shows that year. I think I missed one because I think I had my kid, and I didn't have anybody that uh, would watch it that night. But I'd seen all those guys numerous times. But yeah, if it was a Saturday show, I was there. If it was a Friday show, I was there. I figured that year, yeah, at least 120 shows that year. If they had 2 weekends, those are really nice. But yeah, they were the only bar in town that was doing live music, and their sound guy ended up going on tour or on the road with with some of the bands. Like he did Walls of Jericho. Well, I think he did Walls of Jericho, but there was a lot of major acts that he ended up going and being a sound tech for. But yeah, that concert venue. Uh, let's see, Suicide Silence before they got super huge. Like if you look at Mitch's knuckles and some of the photos that I took, like he still has the writing on it. They weren't blocked out yet. Soulfly, Devil Driver, Napalm Death, uh, Walls of Jericho, 36 Crazy Fists, In This Moment, Green Jelly, uh, Cash Hollister. That dude's huge in Kansas. At least I think he's huge. I don't know what other people think, but the dude's on the board of, or the Kansas Board of Music Hall of Fame. And set his bar super high when he introduced when he got the chance to provide the award for the first person that he got to induct in was none other than Kansas's very own Tech Nine. So yeah, he set his bar slightly high. And yeah, I enjoy music. I'm gonna probably figure out how to put some of these music videos up here at the moment, so bear with me. These guys I was talking about earlier. This is Forged by Fire, a band out of Salina, Kansas that I've had the privilege of seeing them live once, and the one show I caught them was right before their vocalist, or not their vocalist. The vocalist I never saw take a single drink of water the whole time. That dude blew me away at that because I've never, ever, ever, ever seen that before. But no, their drummer, he'd had an injury, and he comes to find out he'd herniated a couple discs in his back, and ended up saying, "Screw it, I'm doing the set," and did. And Phil is a fucking beast. Every time he posts something, or I see something that he posts, or something about the band he's in that he posts, he's a fucking beast, hands down. You play with two herniated discs and you do a 45-minute set of very fast-paced drumming. I've got the same thing he does, and there's no way I'm going and doing a show at all. So here's Forged by Fire. Everything breaks. Full Ride Productions. That's Phil. Really love their style. These guys are awesome. I enjoyed the time that I watched them. And he's gone. They're out in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. I really like this. This great sound. Really tight, really put together well. Little vocal tracks right there. Oh, there's some live stuff. Really dig this band. These guys are good. That was the last show that they did right there with some of those. Oh, nice breakdown. Very nice breakdown. Their guitar player is insane. Oh, he's... Oh, just amazing. Some of those pictures kind of look familiar. Especially that one. I was in that shot. Archie vocals. Bullet Ride, mixed and mastered by Dustin. Dustin is the man. Forged by Fire. John's the guitarist. Hey, look, there I am. So, that being said, nope, wrong button. Scroll me back in big. Yeah, Forged by Fire. Those guys are awesome. They're great dudes. I can't say enough good stuff about them. They're just as tight live as they are on that video, and that's a recording quality production. And not very often you hear bands that are that good live, and those guys straight nail it. And I hope Phil has a quick recovery and is able to get back behind a kid, because once I get cut into, I'm coming down and finding when your guys' shows are, and I'm going to catch at least one this upcoming year. You guys are on the list of bands I want to see again. I want to make sure that the one time I saw you guys, one time, was not a fluke, that it is the real deal. That you guys do bring that intensity to all of to all the other shows. I haven't heard anybody say a negative thing. And I mean, Metal Mom talked you guys up to the point where even after her talking about you guys, I wanted to see them, and got to, and would love to have the opportunity, as long as it falls on a weekend that my kids go to their grandparents or their other mom's house. They don't just want to be that kind of parent anymore, where it's like, okay, you guys are going over here, Daddy's going to a concert. So I don't think that makes. I think when parents do that, it gives their kids the false sense that they are not as important. And a long time ago, I used to be that irresponsible parent. And I know through time, I've not always made the best choices and the best ideas and done the best things for everybody involved. But for once, I'm looking at what's more important for other people versus what I think is important for what I need to do. And kids should always be the top priority. And at times I was not always feeling that they were my top priority. Like I said, I drank a lot. I did a lot of other things years and years ago. I'm 11 years, almost 12 years clean. I'm coming up on my. I've got about another month, and I'll come up on my 12 years of being clean, of not having drugs, not doing any of the illegal things, not abusing any things. Granted, when you have surgery, that's a different scenario of it's every 4 hours. Okay, pain pill. Okay, 4 hours later. Okay, I've watched the same episode of Arrow 4 times now. Each time I've watched a different part of the episode, so I need to stay coherent enough to be able to watch it. That was during my hernia surgery that I watched disc 1, season 1, 7 times in a row. Because, it was the day after I had surgery, so I'd I'd take my pain pills. I would write the time down on when I took them, put the show on, attempt to watch it, fall asleep, different episodes, or different parts of episodes, and just kind of that was what it was. Not the best thing, but I mean it is what it is. Can't really knock on what I was doing. And I just had surgery. I had my stomach tattooed, and I lost my stomach tattoo behind all the bruising. And it's dark lettering. It's half black, half red. It says "Vengeance and Violence," and I lost all of the vengeance and all of the violence. But and this is a different concept for the stream that I was looking at. Uh, at some point in time, with what I've seen from some of these other people who do just chatting, there's not a whole lot of chatting. So I think at some point in time, I'm going to get a bikini and you know wear a bikini and get a pool, and I'm gonna get a hula hoop, and I'm gonna sit in a little pool in my living room in a bikini, and I'm gonna live stream because I mean, hell, they get 2,000 views, and they're probably a little more attractive than I am. I mean, I've told a few people I'm going to do it, and not a single one of the people in my family even batted an eye. They're like, "Yeah, well, no, you do it. Of course you would. You bought a kid for her birthday who turned 15. You bought her a bib. I mean, different planet, different set of rules, different logistics.